Cambodia is a country located in the southern portion of the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. It covers an area of approximately 181,035 square kilometers. To the west and northwest, it shares borders with Thailand. To the north, it borders Laos, and to the east and southeast, it borders Vietnam. To the southwest, it has a coastline along the Gulf of Thailand, which is about 443 kilometers long. The country's landscape is largely dominated by the central plain of the Mekong River and the Tonle Sap Lake, which is the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia. Surrounding this central plain are forested highlands and low mountain ranges, including the Cardamom Mountains to the southwest and the Dangrek Mountains along the Thai border. The highest peak in Cambodia is Phnom Penh, which rises to 1,813 meters. Cambodia's climate is characterized by a tropical monsoon pattern with two distinct seasons. The rainy season lasts from May to October, and the dry season occurs from November to April. The average temperature is warm year-round, typically between 21 degrees Celsius and 35 degrees Celsius. The Mekong River runs from north to south, passing through the capital city, Phnom Penh, before flowing into Vietnam. This river is vital for agriculture, fishing, and transportation. The Tonle Sap River is unique for its seasonal flow reversal. During the rainy season, it flows backward, filling the Tonle Sap Lake, and in the dry season, it flows back toward the Mekong. The fertile floodplains of Cambodia make rice farming the country's primary agricultural activity. The land is also covered by forests, particularly in the western and northern regions, which are home to diverse wildlife. Thailand-Cambodia border conflict 2003 to 2025.2003. The Phnom Penh anti-Thai riot song. January 29, 2003, Phnom Penh erupted into violence following a false media report that ignited nationalist sentiment. Cambodian newspaper Rasmai Angkor published a fabricated story alleging that Thai actress Suvanat Konggying had declared that Angkor Wat should belong to Thailand. Although Suvanat immediately denied making such remarks, the rumor spread rapidly across Cambodia, amplified by local media and public anger. Escalation begins. By January 27th, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen publicly condemned the actress in a televised speech, accusing her of insulting Cambodia's cultural heritage. In a strong show of national pride, Hun Sen ordered Cambodian television stations to suspend Thai dramas, which were popular at the time. His statement struck a deep chord among Cambodians, whose pride in Angkor Wat as symbol of their national identity is profound. From protest to riot. On January 29th, protests began outside the Thai embassy in Phnom Penh. Initially peaceful, the gathering soon escalated. As the crowd swelled into the thousands, demonstrators became violent. By evening, they stormed the Thai embassy compound, setting fires, destroying property, and burning the Thai flag. Portraits of the Thai king and embassy vehicles were dragged outside and set ablaze. The violence then spread to Thai-owned businesses and properties in Phnom Penh. The Royal Phnom Penh Hotel, Thai Airways and Bangkok Airways offices, and other Thai-linked Commercial establishments were vandalized and looted. Companies connected to Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, including Shin Corp offices, were specifically targeted. Diplomatic fallout. Thailand responded with swift and severe measures. The Thai government evacuated embassy staff and citizens via military aircraft and naval vessels. It recalled its ambassador and expelled Cambodia's envoy from Bangkok. Thailand closed border crossings, suspended bilateral flights, and threatened to deport Cambodian workers. It demanded full compensation for damages estimated in the millions of U.S. dollars. Cambodia issued an official apology to Thailand and promised to cover the cost of damages, which was reported to be around $6 million for embassy losses alone. By February 2003, Cambodia began paying compensation and working to restore order, leading to gradual normalization of relations. Aftermath and political context. The riots were primarily fueled by nationalist fervor, but analysts and rights groups suggested that the Cambodian government's slow response, including police inaction during the attacks, allowed the violence to spiral. Critics speculated that the unrest may have been tolerated or encouraged by political elements within Cambodia to stoke nationalism or divert public attention from domestic issues. The Cambodian authorities later arrested several journalists and activists, including Beehive Radio's Mam Sanando and Razmai Angkor's editor, Inchan Sivatha, charging them with incitement and spreading false information. Human rights groups condemned these arrests as politically motivated. Legacy. The 2003 riots left a lasting scar on Thai-Cambodian relations. They underscored how media misinformation, nationalism, and unresolved historical tensions could erupt into violence. Although diplomatic ties were restored by April 2003, the memory of the riots continues to influence public opinion and bilateral relations. 2008-2011. The Preah Vihear Flashpoint and Shooting. UNESCO meets nationalism and artillery answers. The years 2008 to 2011 marked one of the most violent episodes in Thai-Cambodian relations since the 1960s. At the center of the conflict was Preah Vihear Temple, a centuries-old commerce structure perched on a cliff along the border. The temple had been the subject of dispute since the International Court of Justice, ICJ, ruled in 1962 that it belonged to Cambodia. While the temple itself was awarded to Cambodia, the surrounding 4.6 square kilometers of land remained contested, an ambiguity that would ignite a series of clashes decades later. UNESCO listing sparks tensions. In June 2008, Cambodia applied for UNESCO World Heritage Site status for Preah Vihear Temple. Thailand initially offered support, but later withdrew its backing after domestic political opposition claimed the listing could weaken Thailand's claims over the adjacent land. Nationalist protests in Bangkok pressured the Thai government, and troops were deployed near the disputed area. Clashes began by July 2008. Soldiers from both nations were stationed near the temple, resulting in a tense military standoff. On the 15th of October 2008, the standoff turned deadly when Thai and Cambodian troops exchanged gunfire, killing 2 Cambodian soldiers and injuring several on both sides. Sporadic skirmishes continued through 2009 and 2010, with each side accusing the other of initiating hostilities. Major escalation minus 2011. The conflict reached its peak between 4/7, February 2011, when heavy clashes broke out. Both nations used artillery and mortar around the Preah Vihear area. Cambodia reported significant damage to the temple, including partial destruction of the main stairway. The fighting killed at least 10 soldiers and displaced thousands of civilians along the border. A ceasefire was brokered by ASEAN, but another flare-up occurred in April 2011, resulting in more casualties and displacement. International involvement. Cambodia took the dispute back to the International Court of Justice, asking for clarification of the 1962 ruling. In July 2011, the ICJ issued provisional measures calling for both countries to withdraw troops from the disputed zone and for international observers to monitor the situation. ASEAN played an active role, with Indonesia attempting to mediate and oversee peacekeeping operations. Impact on both nations. The clashes hardened nationalist sentiment on both sides. In Thailand, political divisions between the red shirts and yellow shirts made the border dispute a domestic political weapon. In Cambodia, Prime Minister Hun Sen used the conflict to rally national unity and project strength. Both militaries suffered casualties, and local communities were devastated by shelling and displacement. Key figures. Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia, condemned Thailand's actions and took the issue to international courts. Abhisit Vejjajiva, Prime Minister of Thailand at the time, maintained that Thailand was acting defensively. Aftermath. By late 2011, following ASEAN mediation, tensions began to cool. However, the ICJ's 2013 ruling reaffirming Cambodian sovereignty over the entire Preah Vihear promontory can be traced directly back to these violent years. 2013. The ICJ speaks again. Subtitle: The whole promontory is Cambodia's. After years of tension and sporadic clashes between Thailand and Cambodia, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, revisited the Preah Vihear dispute in 2013. This was not a new case but an interpretation of the court's 1962 ruling, which had awarded the Preah Vihear Temple to Cambodia, but left ambiguity regarding the surrounding land. Background to the 2013 decision. Following the violent border clashes of 2008 to 2011, Cambodia asked the ICJ to clarify exactly what territory its 1962 decision covered. At the heart of the issue was a 4.6 square kilometer area of land adjacent to the temple, which both nations claimed as their own. Both sides had stationed troops and built positions in this disputed zone, leading to deadly conflicts and damage to the historic temple. The ICJ's ruling on the 11th of November 2013, the ICJ delivered its final interpretation. The court reaffirmed that Cambodia has sovereignty over the entire promontory of Preah Vihear Temple. It ruled that Thailand must withdraw all military personnel stationed in the area. The decision also clarified that Cambodia has the right to preserve and promote the temple site without interference from Thailand. This ruling was seen as a significant victory for Cambodia, but it also called for cooperation and negotiation to ensure long-term peace along the border. Reactions: Cambodia celebrated the ruling, with Prime Minister Hun Sen calling it a historic win for the nation's heritage and sovereignty. Thailand initially expressed disappointment, but stated that it would respect the court's decision, while emphasizing the need for bilateral discussions to prevent future misunderstandings. Impact on relations: ICJ ruling did not instantly solve all border disputes, but it removed one of the most contentious points of conflict. Both governments worked with the support of ASEAN to reduce military presence in the region. The decision also highlighted the importance of international legal mechanisms in resolving long-standing territorial disputes. Legacy: the 2013 ruling became a turning point for Thai-Cambodian relations. While tensions still occasionally flare over border issues, the ICJ's clarity regarding Preah Vihear created a foundation for diplomacy and joint cultural preservation, especially since the temple had already been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. 2025, Part 1. From Skirmish to Sanctions, May-June, a 10-minute firefight. A dead soldier and diplomacy in free fall. The first skirmish, May 28, 2025. Tensions along the Thai-Cambodian border resurfaced dramatically on the 28th of May 2025, when a brief but deadly clash occurred near the Emerald Triangle, Trong Bok area. In just 10 minutes of exchanged fire, one Cambodian soldier was killed, and several others on both sides were injured. Each government accused the other of initiating the violence, with both claiming it was a defensive response. Escalating political rhetoric in the days that followed, diplomatic channels grew heated. Cambodia filed formal complaints suggesting that Thailand was violating the spirit of earlier peace agreements and attempting to seize disputed land. Thailand countered by blaming Cambodia for encroachment and said its forces were protecting Thai sovereignty. This initial skirmish sparked a wave of nationalist rhetoric across both nations. June 2025. Economic and cultural sanctions by early June. The dispute shifted from a military standoff to a diplomatic and economic confrontation. June 2nd. Cambodia petitioned the International Court of Justice, ICJ, seeking an emergency ruling on recent Thai activities near the border. Thailand rejected the ICJ's jurisdiction, insisting that the matter should be handled bilaterally. June 7th. Thailand began reinforcing its border troops, deploying additional soldiers and equipment across 6 provinces. June 18th to 23rd. Cambodia retaliated by imposing bans on Thai agricultural imports, Thai media, and entertainment content. This included shutting down broadcasts of Thai television shows, echoing the media restrictions seen during earlier disputes. In 2003, Thailand responded by closing key border crossings, cutting off commerce and trade with Cambodia in the affected regions. Domestic political turmoil in Thailand. The tensions were amplified by domestic instability in Thailand. Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra faced a storm of criticism following a leaked phone call in which she allegedly used overly conciliatory language toward former Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. This scandal triggered a parliamentary ethics investigation and temporarily weakened the Thai government's standing. Nationalist voices within Thailand called for a firmer stance against Cambodia, further escalating the border issue. A shift toward militarization by late June. Thai military Units were seen conducting live-fire exercises near the border, while Cambodia mobilized its own forces in response. Both countries accused the other of staging provocations, and media outlets on both sides inflamed public sentiment by showing images of troop movements and armored vehicles. Summary of May-June 2025 events. May 28th, skirmish at Emerald. Triangle kills one Cambodian soldier. June 2nd, Cambodia petitions the ICJ. June 7th, Thailand reinforces border troops. June 18th to 23rd, Cambodia imposes trade and media bans. Thailand closes border crossings. June, late, Thai PM faces political scandal amid rising nationalist rhetoric. 2025, Part 2. The landmine, the drones, and the breaking point, July 23rd. Subtitle: When diplomacy collapsed and war loomed. The landmine incident, July 23rd, 2025. The fragile standoff between Thailand and Cambodia reached a critical point on the 23rd of July, 2025. A Thai patrol operating near Ubon Ratchathani province, along the disputed border, encountered a newly laid anti-personnel landmine. The explosion severely injured 5 Thai soldiers, with one soldier losing a leg. Thai authorities immediately accused Cambodia of planting the mine, calling it a clear violation of the Ottawa Treaty, to which both countries are signatories. Cambodia firmly denied the accusation, countering that Thailand may have triggered old, unexploded ordnance left from past conflicts. This tragic event intensified the already volatile situation. The Thai government labeled the incident an act of aggression, vowing to respond with both diplomatic and military measures. The drone sightings shortly after the landmine explosion, the Thai military reported the presence of unidentified drones crossing into Thai airspace from the Cambodian side. Over a span of 2 days, Thai forces claimed to have shot down 4 drones near the border. According to Thai officials, these drones were conducting surveillance or mapping operations. Accusations Cambodia dismissed as fabricated or exaggerated. The drone incidents became a symbol of mistrust, sparking further alarm among local populations. Diplomatic fallout, the landmine blast and drone sightings, triggered a wave of diplomatic retaliation. Thailand recalled its ambassador from Phnom Penh. Cambodia's ambassador in Bangkok was expelled, with orders to leave within 48 hours. Several border checkpoints were shut down, severely impacting trade and the daily movement of civilians. Both sides canceled scheduled peace talks, which had been planned for late July. Thailand's leadership, under acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai, standing in for suspended PM Paetongtarn Shinawatra, warned that the country was prepared to take all necessary measures to defend its sovereignty. The final breaking point, the events of July 23rd effectively ended any hope of a peaceful resolution. Media outlets on both sides broadcasted nationalist rhetoric with images of troops, artillery, and military convoys dominating the news cycle. Villagers near the border were evacuated, while both militaries entered a state of high alert. This series of incidents, the landmine, the drone shoot-downs, and the collapse of diplomatic dialogue, set the stage for the open warfare that erupted just 1 day later, on the 24th of July, 2025. Key highlights of July 23rd, 2025. Thai patrol hit a newly laid landmine, injuring 5 soldiers. Thailand accused Cambodia of violating the Ottawa Treaty. 4 drones were reportedly shot down over Thai airspace. Ambassadors were recalled and expelled, and border checkpoints closed. Military forces on both sides moved into combat readiness. *they. Outbreak of fighting, the 24th of July 2025. On the 24th of July 2025, the fragile tensions between Thailand and Cambodia exploded into open warfare. Heavy clashes broke out in multiple sectors along the disputed border, particularly near the Preah Vihear and Tham temple areas, which have historically been flashpoints of conflict. Both countries deployed artillery and rocket launchers, with shells raining down on border villages. Thai F-16 fighter jets conducted airstrikes targeting Cambodian military outposts, citing retaliation for earlier provocations. Cambodia fired BN-21 Grad rockets into Thai territory, with some projectiles hitting civilian areas, including a petrol station and a hospital in Thailand's Surin province. By the evening of July 24th, the situation had spiraled beyond border. Skirmishes with full military engagements taking place across several kilometers of contested land. Casualties and civilian impact. The first reports indicated at least 16 deaths, 15 Thai fatalities, including soldiers and civilians. 1 Cambodian soldier confirmed dead, with the possibility of additional unconfirmed casualties. Dozens were injured, and over 120,000 Thai civilians were evacuated from border towns. Thousands of Cambodians living near the front line were also forced to flee to safer areas. Makeshift shelters and temporary relief stations were established on both sides of the border. Military Movements Thailand launched Operation Yuta Boden, a coordinated military campaign that included targeting Cambodian artillery positions, supply lines, and suspected rocket launch sites, deploying tanks and armored vehicles to reinforce frontline units, establishing aerial surveillance using both drones and reconnaissance aircraft. Cambodia, in response, mobilized reserve forces and fortified defensive positions, while accusing Thailand of violating international law by targeting civilian infrastructure. Fallout: the escalation shattered any remaining hope for diplomacy. Both countries declared states of emergency in border provinces. Ambassadors had already been expelled following the July 23rd incidents. Peace talks scheduled for July 26th were canceled indefinitely. ASEAN expressed deep concern and called for an immediate ceasefire. Malaysia, as ASEAN chair, requested an emergency meeting while the UN Security Council convened closed-door discussions. Thailand rejected third-party mediation, insisting that the conflict was a bilateral issue. Media and public sentiment media outlets in both countries broadcast footage of destroyed homes, evacuating villagers, and columns of tanks. Nationalist rhetoric surged online, with both populations rallying behind their militaries. Calls for humanitarian aid increased as civilians were caught in the crossfire. Key highlights of 2425, July 2025. Open fighting erupted along multiple border zones. Thailand launched Operation Yuta Boden, including airstrikes. Cambodia fired BM-21 rockets into Thai territory. 16 confirmed deaths and over 120,000 people displaced. ASEAN and the UN called for ceasefire efforts, but talks collapsed. Structural Roots, Maps, Courts, and Nationalism subtitle. The 1907 map, the 1962 ruling, the 2013 clarification, and why none of it settled the border. The structural cause of every flare-up remains unfinished demarcation along a long, forested frontier where colonial-era maps, notably from 1907, never matched modern coordinates perfectly. The ICJ's 1962 ruling Temple to Cambodia and its 2013 clarification, Promontory to Cambodia. Thai troop withdrawal resolved only a small piece of the puzzle. The surrounding territory, plus other temple complexes like Tamuan Tom, has stayed legally and politically disputed. Layered over the cartography are domestic political incentives in both countries, nationalist mobilization, leadership crises, and media narratives that can rapidly escalate local incidents into state-to-state confrontation. Sources: ICJ 2013 Summary, Wikipedia's Crisis Chronology synthesizing the legal rulings and nationalist politics. Asterisk, What Next? Late July 2025. Subtitle, UNSC, ASEAN, or a Prolonged Stalemate. The state of the conflict as July 25, 2025, came to a close. The border between Thailand and Cambodia remained an active conflict zone. Military units on both sides maintained combat readiness, and sporadic artillery fire was reported, despite calls for a ceasefire. Civilians continued to flee the front line, with refugee shelters overflowing along the Thai side of the border and thousands of Cambodian villagers displaced. The situation is dire, with both governments entrenched in their positions. Thailand's leadership has maintained that the fighting was provoked by Cambodian aggression, citing the landmine incident of July 23rd and subsequent rocket fire, while Cambodia's government continues to accuse Thailand of airspace violations, indiscriminate bombings, and attacks on civilian infrastructure. Diplomatic efforts and challenges. ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, has attempted to mediate, with Malaysia as the current chair pushing for emergency talks. However, Thailand has rejected third-party mediation, insisting that the conflict must be resolved bilaterally. United Nations. The UN Security Council held closed-door meetings on July 25th to discuss possible measures, but no resolution has been adopted yet. Both nations have sent envoys to explain their positions. International reactions. Countries like the United States, China, and Japan have called for restraint, urging both sides to agree to an immediate ceasefire. Military posture and risks. Thailand's Operation Yuta Boden continues, with F-16 air patrols and heavy artillery units stationed across its northeastern provinces. Cambodia, in turn, has fortified its positions with reserve troops and anti-aircraft defenses near Preah Vihear and Tamuan Tom. The risk of escalation remains high. Any miscalculation or renewed attack could trigger an extended border war. Heritage sites, such as the Preah Vihear Temple, remain vulnerable to damage due to their proximity to the fighting. Civilian casualties could rise if the conflict spreads beyond military zones. Humanitarian crisis. 120,000 civilians have already been evacuated from Thai border provinces, and thousands of Cambodians have been forced into temporary shelters. Aid agencies warn of worsening conditions as food, medicine, and clean water become scarce. Cross-border trade is halted, disrupting local economies and essential supply lines. The path ahead experts suggest 3 possible scenarios for the coming weeks: a ceasefire through EAACN or UN pressure. If both governments feel international pressure, they may agree to pull back troops and resume dialogue. Prolonged stalemate. Both sides may hold positions along the border, engaging in sporadic clashes without a formal peace agreement. Full escalation. If attacks intensify, the conflict could spread, drawing international attention and possible sanctions. Conclusion. The events of May to July 2025 have brought Thailand and Cambodia to one of their most dangerous confrontations in decades. Whether through diplomacy or prolonged conflict, the next steps taken in late July and early August 2025 will determine not only the fate of the border, but also the stability of Southeast Asia as a whole.